Welcome to 10 minutes of BPTV News. Thank you for joining us on Bình Phuoc Radio, television station and newspaper. I'm Binh Phuoc, BPTV. We begin with headlines for today. Prime Minister asks Bắc Khan province to focus on forest tourism economy. Binh Phuoc targets disbursement rate of 95% in 2023 to boost economic growth. Promoting regeneration and recovery of aquatic resources in Binh Phuoc. And now our details. In light of the economic challenge facing Binh Phuoc province, the Provincial People's Committee has laid out the plans to boost socio-economic development in the second half of this year, which will include measures to enhance budget collection and tackle revenue loss through effective management.
To accelerate economic growth, the southeastern province will prioritize the disbursements of public investment capital for key projects such as the Đăng, Nghĩa, Chân, Thanh Expressway, the Ho Chi Minh City, Thủ Một Dầu, Chân Thanh Expressway, and the Đông Phú Bình Dương Road. The province aims to post a disbursement rate of at least 95% of the plan this year by addressing issues relating to investment preparation and site clearance. It also intends to attract investment and encourage public-private partnership projects. Provincial's economic growth surpassed 7.2% in the first half of the year, the highest in the southeast region and the 14th in the country. Industrial growth in the second quarter was particularly impressive, reaching 8.85%, indicating a swift recovery despite the country's economic difficulties. However, state budget collections were rather modest at almost 5.5 trillion Vietnam dong, down 27% year-on-year. Export turnover stood at $1.78 billion, down 8.65% year-on-year.
Since the beginning of this year, the Aquaculture Hatchery of the Agricultural Service Center at the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development of Binh Phuoc Province has recreated and restored more than 2,600 kilos of traditional fish.
The hatchery has produced more than 19,800 fish and over 2,600 kilos of traditional fish, such as tilapia, grass carp, and common carp, and released them into areas of Thác Mơ, Cần Đơn, and Sóc Phú Mieng hydropower reservoirs. It has also supported fishery extension efforts for 14 fishing groups, supported 15 communes in the province with 1,500 kilos of traditional fish, and built 2 tilapia models and 1 large water surface fish farming model. An output change for aquaculture products in cages and large water surface areas was also established. Activities aim to cement the program on local aquaculture development. By 2025, the southeastern province targets average annual production growth of 1 to 2% in the fishery sector. The cultivation area is expected to reach 1,650 hectares by 2025, with fishery output of 4,900 tons.
Implementing projects to join hands in building new style rural areas, ensuring social security, and enabling children to go to school were the main activity held during the Đông Phú Summer Volunteer Campaign in 2023.
Doctors and nurses from Đông Phú district held free medical examinations during the campaign and distributed free medicines worth nearly 22 million Vietnam dong to more than 120 people from disadvantaged backgrounds and ethnic minority areas. This gave many people access to basic medical services. Youth union members coordinated with the police force to have people activate their electronic ID accounts, contributing to the completion of the 90 Day and Night campaign in this regard. Accompanied by PMG's Vietnam, some 92 relief packages and 15 bicycles with a total value of 100 million Vietnam dong were presented to needy students, recording outstanding academic performance.
Moving over to the report on the activity by Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính, he asked Bắc Khan to focus on forest and tourism-based economy at a working session with the standing board of the Provincial Party Committee as part of his trip to the northern mountainous province last weekend.
Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính had a working session with the Standing Board of the Party Committee of Bac Can Province, on July 16th. Bac Can reported a growth rate of more than 5% in the 2021 to 2022 period, and its GRDP stood at 5.7% in the first 6 months of this year, ranking 34th out of the 63 cities and provinces nationwide. In the first half, the province welcomed 571,000 tourists, 2.5 times higher than the figure recorded in the same period last year. During the session, Prime Minister Chin asked Bac Can to focus on forest and tourism-based economy. For the forest economy, the Prime Minister pointed to the 3 spearheads of carbon credit trading, biomass electricity and pharmaceutical industry. Meanwhile, tourism development should be based on the province's beautiful, majestic landscapes and traditional culture, according to the government leader.
Continue us with the report on activity by National Assembly Chairman Binh Phuoc.
National Assembly Chairman Binh Phuoc urged the Central Province of Thu Thien Huế to complete important planning schemes and projects towards the status of a centrally run city by 2025, at a working session with the Standing Board of the Provincial Party Committee in Hue City on the 16th of July. The top legislator hailed the province's performance in socio-economic development, with its GRDP in the first half of this year, growing 6.51% year-on-year, and ranking 25th out of the 63 cities and provinces nationwide. Notably, the number of international tourists to the province, home to the UNESCO-recognized complex of Hue monuments, increased nearly 27 times than in 2022. The province should work harder to raise the efficiency of the management, exploitation, mobilization, allocation, and use of resources to achieve its development targets, the National Assembly leader said, stressing the need for the province to remove its Aloi district from the poverty list.
In more good news for economy, Ho Chi Minh City attracts $2.9 billion in the foreign direct investment FDI from the beginning of this year to June 20, a year-on-year increase of 30.7%.
According to the city's Department of Planning and Investment, the city is developing an FDI attraction project for the 2023 to 2025 period, with a vision to 2030. It aims to attract strategic investors who pour capital from $1.27 billion for conventional projects, or some $127 million for research and innovation projects. Ho Chi Minh City expects to attract more than 50 high-tech projects by 2025, with a total investment capital of at least $3 billion. In the first half of this year, the country's economic locomotive granted new investment certificates for 514 projects, with a combined registered capital of $231 million. Among the nations and territories pouring capital into the city, Singapore ranked first with 89 projects, and a total registered capital of $126 million, accounting for some 55% of the newly registered capital.
And finally, the trend of electronic and non-cash payment in the Vietnamese economy continued to flourish in the first half of this year.
According to the State Bank of Vietnam, payment transactions via QR codes are increasingly popular in Vietnam, while ATM transactions are decreasing in both quantity and value. Transactions via internet channels in the first half increased by nearly 76% in quantity and 1.8% in value. And the rise for transactions via mobile channels rose by more than 64% in quantity and 7.6% in value. Notably, transactions via QR codes surged by over 150% and 30.4% in volume and value. To promote the trend of electronic and non-cash payment, the State Bank has continued to streamline the legal framework for payment activities and bank digital transformation. Some commercial banks have so far provided loans electronically and approved online lending documents.
That's all of our bulletin today. To rewatch this news, you can download BPTV Go or visit our website and YouTube channel. Thanks for staying with us and see you next time.